Hello everybody, got the old fogey here again. I'm going to start this video off with telling you a bit about numismatics, which is the study of currencies. I'm beginning with $1 bills. Now what you're seeing right now is an older 1935 series $1 bill. It is also a silver certificate. You can tell these real quickly by the color of this seal right here. They will be blue. But then also up here it says silver certificate, and down here it tells you that you can change it in on demand for the silver itself. Now, you cannot do that any longer. In 1958, that was stopped by the U.S. government. But still, these silver certificates have some value to them. It may not get you rich, but the older the silver certificate is, and the better condition it's in, the more value it carries, just like any other antique. The better condition and the older. So that's one start here. And I doubt if many of you have even heard of these, let alone seen any. I have a number of them. And also, I have a number of these silver certificates. Now, if you look at the date, not the date, but the serial number compared to this one, you'll see that this serial number starts with a letter, has 8 digits, and ends with a letter. But this one here starts with a star, has the 8 digits, and then another letter. Now, those with a star are signified or identified as star notes. What a star note is during the production, the normal production of the bills with the 2 letters, some of those bills get damaged, they're imperfect, whatever, and get rejected as currency. So those bills are destroyed, and the same serial number is reprinted, but with the star. So any of these bills that you get, even up to date, if you find a bill with a star on it, it is a little bit more valuable than the same bill that does not have a star. Now, there'll be more about that down the road. Now, we're going to talk about some other things that are going to make these bills valuable. Well, maybe not real valuable, but more valuable than normal. Now, this is a bill with just the standard serial number, all of that. It's got one digit right here that is a heavier print than the others. It's even just slightly heavier than the same digit on this serial number, although this one is still heavier than the rest. What that signifies is that particular digit has extra ink. That'll increase the value of that bill by a few dollars, depending on how much a collector wants to pay for it. Then you've got bills such as this one. It in the serial number, you've got 1776. Is that not the date of our independence? That makes that bill a few dollars more valuable. But if the other four digits, whether it be 2 before and 2 after, happen to signify the date, the month, and the day of the month that was actually done, then that would make that bill quite a bit more valuable. And then you've got other bills such as this that just have so many digits. It could be all up to 8, but the digits are in sequence. Now, this one is not one of the more valuable ones because, as you can see, the digits aren't in sequence. But it goes from 0 to 6, which is 7 digits in a row. That's called a ladder. But your better ladders are when they are in order. Meaning if it started with a 0, went 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that would be potentially a good bit more valuable. Now, you're not going to get rich off of these, but that $1 here, if those digits were in order, this one might be worth as much as $20, which is not that much, but you can see the condition it's in. It's not the best. But the better the condition, again, the more valuable. And then you've got these, like this, that have multiples of digits. Of course, the more digits you have that are identical out of the 8, the more valuable it can be. That takes a toll. And again, it's more valuable the better the condition and the older it is. Just like if you were to get silver certificates and that have a ladder number, then it would be worth quite a bit more. Now this bill here has only 3 digits. And you'll see there's a triple and a quadruple. That makes that bill a bit more valuable. Still, it's not worth a fortune, but it can be worth, depending on the buyer, it can be worth $20 to $30, again, depending on the condition, the age, the series, which The series is right here. Let me focus it. Well, the series is right here. And trust me, that's not the date it was printed. That is the date that this design was first printed. The design of the dollar bills, the fives, all the all the paper currency changes from time to time. And the year that it changes is the series number. So you've got that. And then you've got others. This one's another example. 4 zeros, 3 threes. But here's one that'll get you more than that one will. Look at all the threes. And on top of that, there's 6 threes. On top of that, you've got a 6 and a 9. 6 and 9 are multiples of 3, which will make that one a bit more valuable. But then it depends on the buyer, what they're willing to pay, plus the condition of the bill, and so forth. One of the more valuable ones with the fancy serial number is one like this. It is the same from front to back. Either direction you go, it is the same. That's called a palindrome. But this one, that's probably one of the higher priced fancy serial numbers, but then again, it takes the right buyer, as well as this one. Look at all the zeros. Now this particular one is a 2017, I believe, series. Yes, a 2017 series. All right. Now, that's just some things to consider. And then you've got things like this that will increase your value of the dollar. Now, if you look close, you can see that the upper border on both these bills is quite a bit smaller than the lower border, which means they were miscut. And you can see the same thing on the back side of these. Now that makes it $2, $3 more valuable, not anything by itself, but you consider this stack of bills right here. There's 21 consecutive bills sold in a lot, being off-centered and cut like they are. They can bring a pretty decent amount. And this here is the same thing, miscut, but it's only 10. So we're looking at 31 bills, but 2 consecutive numbers. But both have the F seal, and the serial number starts with F on both runs. That makes them a bit more valuable. And then you get the star notes that have the same type serial numbers. You know, a lot of digits, fewer digits, but a number of the same digits. Now, I've got one bill. Let me find that right quick. What did I do with it? Here it is. Now, we're going to go back to those star notes. Now, this is not a star note, but as I told you in the beginning, the star note is a replacement for a destroyed, damaged bill. In the 2013 series, which this happens to be, with the B in this seal and the serial number starting with a B and ending with a star, there were 64 million of these bills that were supposedly destroyed and replaced. Now, serial numbers in a series are individual. They destroy the damaged bills and replace the serial number with a star bill, star note. In 2014, I believe it was starting in October and November, in Fort Worth, there were 64 million star notes that were replacing some of these destroyed bills. And then a year and a half later, in June of 2016, they had the same bills printed with the same serial numbers a second time. Now, one of those bills, and if you want to know the serial number, you can go to a place on the web. It's mycurrencycollection.com. It'll give you a chart for the coolness of your fancy bills. It'll give you what a bill of that caliber is valued at, and so on. And it will give you the serial numbers for those duplicated bills, the duplicated serial numbers. Now, you get one of them, and it might be worth, depending on who's buying it, might be worth as much as $200. But then again, if you can get both, they may be worth $500,000 together, depending on their condition. But I have a problem here. If you were to look up, go to that mycurrencycollection.com and look up this serial number in the same series with the same letter in the seal, starting with the same letter in the serial number, but instead of putting it in with this H, you go to the star bills and use a star right here, and it will give you, it will show you that this bill is one of those duplicated star notes. But again, a star note replaces a damaged, destroyed bill. So if you go by that, how do I have this one that is not a star bill? If anybody can answer that question for me, please leave me a comment. Now, I've given you a bit to think about. And if you have any questions, of course, there's always the comments. And I'll answer any questions I can. Well, I'll answer all questions. I'll give you the correct answer if I can, or at least give you a place you can go to get that answer. Until my next video, y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.